All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. All right, look, man, this is our big signing for Top Rank. Top Rank signs the 140-pound, the IBF and the WBA 140-pound champion, Josh Taylor out of Scotland to Top Rank. So now they have both Jose Ramirez, who is the WBO and the WBC champion, and they've got Taylor. They've got all four belts wrapped up there at 140 pounds with the potential of a unification fight to take place between them. But eventually, since we know 140 is the stepchild to 147, he's got another player or players in the 147-pound division. Let's talk about that and its effect on Terrence Crawford in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that great stuff. There's a membership button down there that you can join if you're on your computer. And I'm not sure, maybe there's a difference between Apple and Android as far as who can, whether or not that join button is down there for you. Also, much love to everybody on the Patreon. Much love to everybody that comes by the Twitter, checks me out on Twitter, and the live streams we do Monday through Friday, and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday. Make sure you come to this channel to check out the great panel we have. OG Boxing Talk, Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Okay, man, I think this is a great signing for boxing, man. I like this. And I am, I'm not I can be a harsh guy on Top Rank because Top Rank likes to make a lot of in-house fights, okay? And Bob Arum is also, not shy about blocking fights, but hey man, maybe in his winter years, Bob Arum is, might be wanting to just, hey man, F it. Let's just make some great fights. And the signing of Josh Taylor, it makes the possibility of a great fight very, very possible, man. It puts it right there, man. It puts it right there, right along with this unification fight that's taking place for 3 of the belts. Could have been 4, but 3 of the belts at 135 pounds with Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. But the fight between Josh Taylor and Guillermo Rigondeaux, man, that is wishful thinking, man. Jose Ramirez, man, that thing could be an absolute blockbuster. Jose Ramirez is a very, very important part, from what I can see, an important part of the Top Rank organization. He's a Mexican American, excellent fighter, man. And from what I've heard, man, just a very, very nice person who was supposed to fight, Regis Prograis back in, before the World Boxing Super Series. They were in this little mini thing where it was Jose Ramirez, Amir Imam, Victor Postol, not Victor Postol, but Regis Prograis, and I think Regis Prograis, that's when he destroyed Julius Ndungo. They were supposed to get together and have a big fight at 140 pounds for Jose Ramirez. Bob Arum took the whole thing in a different direction, but because he took it in a different direction, that sent Regis Prograis over to the World Boxing Super Series, where he winds up beating Kylie Relic and Terry Flanagan for the belts. To get to the finals and win a belt. Actually, I think that's where he won the IBF. Maybe he was the IBF or the WBA. Maybe he was the WBA. But he win anyway. He beats Kylie Relic for that belt. Then he loses it to Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's an exciting fighter, man. A very, very solid fighter out of Scotland. I've liked him for a long time. For a few years now. Maybe about a fight before his O'Hara Davies fight in the UK. But I think what's going to happen with this, though, man, is what's interesting about this is if they make this fight, right, one way or another, these guys are going to go to welterweight, okay? And whoever, if they fight, number one, if they fight, all right, I'm hoping they fight. I'm hoping this unification fight takes place. But, with everything, Bob, I'm always hesitant that there's some other plan going on, man. Like, because I really believe that these younger fighters are more important to the plan of Top Rank than Terrence Crawford is. And that's just because of what I've seen, the treatment I've seen of Terrence Crawford as it relates to guys like Vasily Lomachenko and Tyson Fury. You know, it seems to me is that Terrence Crawford is like a workhorse type of fighter over there for them. He's exceptionally talented. He's very, very reliable. You know, he brings a certain amount of attention to the Top Rank banner, but it's just not somebody that they really, really believe in and that they really want to put out to the forefront. You know, Terrence Crawford was not a guy that was heavily recruited by Top Rank to begin with. So, you know, versus the guy like, I'm sure like Josh Taylor probably just got recruited, you know, just got a heavy push and recruited for that. Tyson Fury got recruited for him. Vasily Lomachenko, you know, got recruited to them. Jose Ramirez, who I thought put up a very good fight against Vasily Lomachenko in the amateurs, was recruited by them and heavily supported by them. So, and these guys are not going to stay at 140 pounds for, you know, they're not going to go stay at 140 pounds forever. So, and then there's the fact that I did a video earlier today that talks about the fact that DAZN is making offers for Terrence Crawford to fight Carlos Teixeira for the WBO 154 pound title. So, you know, with or without this fight, man, I expect one of those guys to move into the into the WBO 147 pound title, 140 pound area, and I believe that Terrence Crawford is going to be moved into the 154 pound championship belt, and maybe the loser of that fight is going to wind up staying at, you know, becoming the champion at 140 pounds. So you'll have three guys somehow wind up you know, it'll actually go from 135 to 40 to 47 to 154, and Top Rank will have a champion representing the WBO in all four of those classes, you know, in all of those weight classes, because as you know, I mean, that's what it is. It's the whatever Bob orders belt. So, you know, I'm excited about this signing of Josh Taylor. And I know that my friend over at Trap House Boxing and one of my co-hosts on OG Boxing Talk is, you know, going to be happy about Josh Taylor because, you know, he was, you know, a little bit after me and, you know, began to support the Tartan Tornado, man. But anyway, man, Josh Taylor is an excellent fighter. There is, of course, the option that Terrence Crawford could get fights with Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez when they move to 147, and he could stay there. But that just doesn't make sense to me. Or let me put it that way, that makes too much sense to me. That sounds like too much right. That sounds like Bob Arum putting all his eggs in one basket, and that just doesn't seem like him to me. Because Terrence Crawford, unless Terrence Crawford just looks really, really vulnerable, and, you know, getting dropped by you know, Igis Kalvanakis, you know, unofficially dropped by Igis Kalvanakis, and, you know, having some difficulties with Jose Benavidez, you know, maybe that might get Bob Arum looking at him like, okay, is it time to send this horse to the glue factory yet? You know, is it glue factory time, or could I sell this horse for two young calves? You know what I mean? Like, am I gonna get the old Warhouse out of here and get two young stallions in exchange for him while I still can? Or, you know, can this workhorse really keep pulling for me much longer? My bet is that, you know, Bob Arum, Terrence Crawford gets, you know, pushing 30, having even minor difficulties with fighters at that level, not really selling a lot of tickets. You've got a legitimate attraction in Jose Ramirez, and you have a Mexican American attraction in in Jose Ramirez, and you know how much Bob Arum likes that. And you have a dirty blonde, blue-eyed, very good fighter. Very good fighter. Okay, not some slacker, not some slouch, but a very good fighter that you could try to sell, and you could try to sell him in the UK too. It seems like they might try to bust it. I'm more like, why feed him to Terrence Crawford? Because that's what they would be doing. Okay, feeding Jose Ramirez to Terrence Crawford and feeding Josh Taylor to him. I just don't see it, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how that WBO landscape plays out. But please note that when I'm talking about this WBO landscape and how it plays out, in both of those weight classes, 147 and 154. 154, 147, not 140, obviously, because the PBC doesn't have, because let me put it this way. The top rank has all of 140 locked up at this point in time. But at 147 and 154, that WBO, you might as well take that WBO and just sit it out by the side. Because with the exception of the opinion of the great talents of Terrence Crawford, it is almost completely disconnected. It's almost completely disconnected from the path of the other three major sanctioning bodies, where the fighters are all fighting each other. So anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.